think it's trying to carve, this is my spiritual formation pastor side coming
Yeah.
out. It's carving time, making time in your schedule, creating margin in your life where you can just be and be with God.
Welcome back to Live at the Hive. I'm Janice Jokkel, your host, and today I am super pumped to have our next guest. Let me tell you, this man has changed my life. I just made a conscious choice to change where I was worshiping and going to church, and I decided to move churches and went to Heartland Church. And Pastor Dave, who we have today, has absolutely rocked my world in such amazing ways. I know God has a lot to do with that, but I can't wait for you to hear his journey. So, Pastor Dave,
Yeah,
I kind of stole your thunder to tell you what you do, but what do you do for a living?
Way too kind of words, actually.
Well,
yeah, but thank you. Jesus changed your life,
Yes,
right?
yes.
I'm just a vessel,
Yes,
but
yes.
yeah, I'm a lead pastor at Heartland Community Church. Everybody refers to it as the church on the hill as you drive down
Yeah.
Route 3 into Medina, and been doing that for 11 years.
Okay.
Love what I do. Have an incredible team of people that I get to work with, and we get to serve our community and share the love of God with them.
Yeah. So when I met with Nicole when I first came, and then she embraced me and we had coffee, and it was like a power moment that her and I talked. But she educated me, which I thought was really cool, that you guys run the church with a lot of business elements attached to that. And people don't realize that a church is, run as a business, right? There's all kinds of departments, just like a church or just like a business, like HR and all that. And you've instituted this thing called EOS.
Right. The entrepreneurial operating system. We were
Yes.
introduced to it through a friend
Yeah.
who actually runs his nonprofit through it.
Yeah.
So we decided to sit down with a coach and give it a try.
Yeah.
Nicole is my right-hand person,
Yeah.
our executive director. And so we thought we needed a system that could help us not only with the vision
Yep.
and where we're going as an organization, but a church is a family, but a church is also a business. And
Right.
we want to make sure we handle our finances and we handle people and personnel issues professionally. And EOS has been important part of that process for us.
Good. Yeah, part of my past journey, I believe in a lot of those elements that have that to carry that out. So tell us, you have been in your position for 11 years, but what did you do prior?
Well, I've been pastoring for 32 years now.
Okay.
So I've been a youth pastor, a spiritual formation pastor, outreach, every kind of pastor you can think of except worship. I don't sing very well. So I learned a lot from my past experiences, sat in all those seats, and then just felt God nudging me out and stepping into the lead pastorate about 11, 12 years. It's actually 12 years ago, but I resisted for about a year. It's like, I don't want to do this, God. This job seems very difficult. And finally, he got my attention.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So you've been walking this journey for 30 plus years.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying that because I probably only look like I'm 30 years old.
Yes, I was
right?
going to say, how can that be?
Sure, right. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Wow. Well, that's fantastic. And you have a beautiful wife that stands beside you and a couple kids that do that too.
Yeah, so Melody, we've been married 32 years this summer. We have two boys, 27, and I don't know if I'm going to get this right, and 25 years old. Yeah, yeah, and they're both living in different places and married, and it's been a great journey.
Fantastic. So who inspired you to do what you do?
Lots of people. I don't have any that I'm aware of pastors in my family. So there were other pastors, Steve Petrie, a man from Wisconsin who kind of took me under his wing and said, pastors don't have to come across like they're perfect and have everything all together.
No.
You need to let people know you're a normal person. You struggle with things. And he was a huge part of my journey. Florian Manis, who actually owned a magic shop here in town in Cleveland. And was one of the pastors at Parma Heights Baptist Church.
Oh, okay.
He was the youth pastor and then became the senior citizens pastor toward the end of his journey.
Okay.
So those are two people that come to my mind right away, along with scores of other people who helped. But yeah, God just put this thing in my heart. I wanted to help people, and it actually started when I was in college in Alaska.
Oh, wow.
And I roomed with a person who was addicted to alcohol. And wow, it was tough. I would clean him up off the bathroom floor pretty much every night. And God just said to me, you need to do something that helps people. And that, long story, but that led me into
Yeah.
pastoring. And that's how I do what I do today.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So what legacy would you like to be left? What legacy would you like to be known for?
Yeah, it's funny. I used to think I want to leave a legacy, and I want my kids to follow and love Jesus,
Yeah.
and I want my wife to feel like she was loved well and served well. But I've been really convicted about that question lately. I don't think I want to leave a legacy. I was reading something from you'll love this name, Count von Zinzendorf, I think. It's a hard one to say.
Yes,
Count
yes.
von Zinzendorf. He said this. He said, preach the gospel, die, and be forgotten.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
And really, I mean, I know it might sound like, oh my gosh, but that's what I want to be known for. I want people to be pointed to Jesus, to fall in love with him. It's not about me, and I think there's too many people in my industry who make it about them, and that's what I'm constantly haunted with. Like, I just don't want it to be about me. I want people to see Jesus.
Yep.
And to fall in love with who he really is, not who like we've made him to be.
Yeah.
I want people to see that there's a God who desperately loves them and has created them in his image and is not mad at them.
Yeah.
Isn't out to send them to hell, but actually wants to love them as his children. So if that's the legacy that I can leave, then praise God. That's the one I'd want to leave.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the show's called Words of Wisdom. And you had a lot of words of wisdom today in just our little time together. But tell our viewers today, what words of wisdom would you like to leave with them?
Yeah, that's good. I think what I've seen just in pastoring in this community for 11 years is we are very busy people. And we are constantly, I actually talked to somebody recently who said they live their life in 15-minute increments because there's always something more. There's always something. And I just see people that are tired, exhausted, and they even come back. I talked to somebody this morning, came back from vacation exhausted.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute, that's an oxymoron, So like, what's a word of wisdom? I think it's trying to carve, this is my spiritual formation pastor side coming out. It's carving time, making time in your schedule, creating margin in your life where you can just be and be with God. I think that's a big one, to allow space. And I think we're passing along things to our kids, like keep them busy, get them in sports, do all these things.
Yeah.
When we moved, quick story, we moved to Indiana. We wanted to get our kids involved with different things. We were taking them to different sporting events and activities. They had made friends in our neighborhood, and I'll never forget this moment. We came out one night. I said, okay, boys, time to get in the van. Let's go. We're going to baseball, because I wanted them to make friends. And they're running around with all their friends that they had made in the neighborhood, just having fun. And they looked at me and said, Dad, we don't want to go. We have friends here. And it hit me like, why am I trying to give them all these things instead of just letting that margin and that space create
organically happen?
Yeah, exactly. So creating that space, I think, is huge, especially in our community, because we just push for more and more and more.
Yeah, that's funny that you say that, because when I met with Nicole, she said, because I was like, I want to get involved. I'm going to get right involved.
Oh, when you first came to Heartland. Okay,
yes.
Okay.
And she said, no, I think you need to press pause.
Yeah, good.
And I pressed pause for 6 months.
Really?
From January until June.
What did that feel like?
It was the most unbelievable experience of my life.
Huh.
I sat in a worker seat and not an owner seat. I was able to immerse myself into what I wanted my business to look like and feel like, journey forward. I paused and prayed. I still pray every morning, right? And I've given myself the grace and opportunity to authentically look at what I wanted to be, moving forward. And it was because of her coming into my life and saying that allowed me to say, God, I am on this rat race and it's not getting me anywhere, right? Yeah. And by pressing that pause button has allowed me to really reflect on myself. Like, you have to love yourself before you can love others, right? And so I love what you just said because it's the truth.
It was probably uncomfortable for you at first too.
Oh,
right?
Lord, help me. Like,
because we want to accomplish. We want
yeah,
more.
like what boards can I sit on? What can I do? What can I give? And being helpful, like always helping people. And I'm like, holy cow, I'm not even helping myself, right? And so just being able to have that pause moment of prayer and, just be able to submerge myself into this change that I was going through and didn't even realize what I was going through until God led me to where I am today.
That's so excellent. I don't recommend this for everyone, but like I take a day a month as just a day with God.
Clarity break,
a day away. And then every year for the past 15 years, COVID, I go down to a place called Gethsemane Monastery in Trappist, Kentucky, and I spend a week of silence, of just doing nothing. I take a few books, but I walk and I just listen, and it is life-giving to me. It's just a life-giving space. So I would encourage your viewers to take some time, to carve that out in their schedule and experience what you experience.
Yeah. Well, until next time, wow, is all I can say. Every time I invite somebody to be in this seat to be our guest, it is just profound. And I am so thankful that you were with us
Thanks
today.
for the invitation.
Yes. Until next time, thank you for allowing us to serve you as our viewers and for choosing us to have a moment of your life. So until the next time, toodles.